Hello YouTubers! Yes, so here we are in the bathroom, and today I am going to be explaining to you how to take off the old joint in the tiling. Yes, and here is the bathroom as is. Sorry about the jolly movement. So this is an old shower, evidently, and the joints have been refilled, some of it with silicone. So what we have to have in order to rejoint a bathroom is a tool for taking off the old joint. There you go, it's a joint rake. An amazing piece of technology with tungsten carbide blades. Fascinating. Here, I'll give you a very short demonstration of its capacity. There we are. It simply eats into the grout. So I'll see you a while later when I've finished all of the tile joints. As we go along, we can see, in fact, here's the point where the grout had a crack in it and the water has infiltrated, and there's a kind of a big gap here, so we're going to have to clean that out thoroughly. The basic idea is to make a deep enough groove in the grout that the second layer that you're going to put on afterwards can actually hold. If you make it too thin, it'll just come out again. So it's a good idea to scrape quite deeply and give a good hold. And there we go. So there's more to be done. As you can see here, this joint was badly done when it was first put in, and the grout is actually over the face of the tile. There's a fair bit of this here and in certain places. Here you can see it's really quite horrible. So this is all going to go down to the spare joint, or a level of grout 2 or 3 millimeters deep. If it's been well bedded in, some of them are actually well done. So if the joint is solid, you can just take down to the level, but as you can see in certain places the grout comes out completely. So if in doubt, just make sure that the base that you're leaving is well and solid. There you go, you can have a little zoom. I don't know if you're going to look in there. There you go. The bits of grout have actually come out the joint, so we're going to fill all. Well, look, it's 4 o'clock. Oh, you can't see. Oh, there you go. Maybe. Well, gone 4 o'clock. Anyway, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. One other important aspect I consider in doing this rejointing job is remove all traces of silicone, because with a cracked joint, very often the joints have been handled by putting in some silicone, which will not take the joint compound when you redo the tile joints. So take off all the silicone with a silicone joint remover. This is a French one. And that's the stuff to have. There are several different varieties. This one's a spray. I've used a paste variety, which you put all over the silicone joint, wait for a while, and it eats into the silicone, and you can just brush it off like a dry powder. So there we go, finalising this, getting all the silicone, which you can feel with your finger. It's all sort of rubbery. And then with the decap on, I'll just do it with my fingernail here to show you. See, there's this sort of layer of rubbery guck which comes off now, which if left in place would prevent the joint sealant from getting in. So I have to get rid of all that. There we go. I'll see you in a short while when I've finished. Horrible stuff. So now we've got rid of the silicone, we can actually start getting this back, right back to the tile where we want to put in the new joint, so that we don't have too much of the old jointing compound left, and that'll make a neater joint at the end. It's a little bit large. There's some gaps here which will all be filled by the new jointing compound. Yeah, there's a serious gap. Right, on for the next section. So here's the jointing powder. White. Make it look pretty. And it needs 1.5 litres for the whole bag. So I'll put in 1/2 litre. There you go, there's my 1/2 litre bottle. Good plan. For 1/3 of the bag, which should do a little tile space. There you go, all prepared. So we'll see how it goes. So this is the application stage. The mix has been made, and we just apply the paste with a sponge all over the surface, making sure we get in all the cracks, sort of circular motion to get into all the joints from every direction. Fill all the cracks with the paste. So the joints are pretty much filled, and the excess joint paste taken off. And now we just give it 10 or 15 minutes, go over it with a wet sponge, taking off the part of the tile, leaving the joints. So this is the point where it's a more or less delicate operation. You have to do it just right, not to pull out the paste that you put in the joints. There we go. So the sponge is pretty much dry. In fact, it's well wrung out. We just go over a sort of diagonal, getting rid of the excess paste on the surface, leaving the joints intact. That's the basic plan. So now the joints are all filled and pretty much the excess is all taken off, and the joints have been smoothed off with a slightly damp sponge. And now we're going to leave it to dry for 2 hours and then just take the dusty surface off with a dry cloth. So the last job now, we've waited about 2 hours for it to dry off, and the final is to get off all the last dusty bit of joint, polish it off and then let it dry fully for 24 hours, and that should come up really nicely. Now we can see here it's all wet, got the dusty, we just polish it off, it comes right off and comes up brilliant and shiny. Wow. And there's the result 24 hours later. Joints pretty much all dry and looks good. Voila. Thanks for watching.